All right.
Good.
Coaching session has started. Sarah, is it?
Yeah.
Coach
Nice to meet you.
Coach French.
Oh, hi, Coach French.
Yes.
Oh, we're acting.
You'll forgive
Okay.
me if I forget my clipboard. Okay.
Okay.
So, speakers' goals or hopes for the session. What are your hopes for the next 55 plus minutes?
Okay. My hopes is that you could critique me a little bit better on like my speaking
Of course.
and hand motions. When I get really nervous, I overly talk with my hands because I talk with my hands to begin with. So I think that's my big issue is talking with my hands. And I think like the flow of my conversation, because I haven't really timed myself out, because I don't know, every time I get kind of like a different time because then I get stopped. Long story.
A lot can happen in 10 minutes.
Right, and yeah, I think just to make sure that like it sounds like a presentation, that I have a beginning and an end, because to me it kind of feels like I don't have an end.
Okay.
And then overly talking with my hands. That's my
Is this
hopes.
like an outline that you have?
Yeah,
for
that's what I'm gonna read off of.
Okay.
I should have printed you one.
That's okay. We can trade back and forth.
Okay.
See what we got.
All right.
Well, here, then why don't I get up a stopwatch just to get a first initial rough draft.
Perfect.
So are you good to go?
Yeah.
I mean, do it right at the beginning, and then we
Yeah.
can
You
break
want
it
like
down.
a rough run through in the beginning?
Let's do it.
I'm
Right.
gonna have like a PowerPoint put
Mhm.
together, but I have one slide as you saw.
All right. I'll
But
just
it's
take some
Tuesday.
notes when you're going. Yeah, we have
A whole nother week.
time. Got time. All right.
All right, you ready?
It is yours.
Hi, welcome to 43 McDonald's. What can I get for you today?
Hi, how are ya? Can I get let's see, a McChicken, a 10-piece nugs. No, wait.
Okay.
Instead of McChicken, can I get a cheeseburger?
Mhm.
Plain,
Yeah,
just
of course.
cheese,
Uh-huh.
and that's it.
All right, so if I have this right, just a cheeseburger plain with only cheese, right? All right, cool. Time goes on. I present my order to this man.
Wait, what do you mean a plain cheeseburger? I thought I didn't want cheese. I have the 10-piece nugs, and that's fine, but I didn't want the plain cheeseburger. Just a hamburger, no cheese. What don't you get about that? This place is honestly disgusting. Can I get a Lysol wipe for my table? It's gross. You guys need to do a better job about cleaning this place. Thank you.
I'm so sorry, sir. I'll make sure we get right on to that. Okay, pause. I could explain to you what I wanted to tell this man, but I feel that is kind of inappropriate. And most definitely against McDonald's customer service policies. Create golden moments for every customer. Oh, I'd show that man a golden moment, all right. So instead, I'll tell you what I did tell the customer. As you saw, I apologized. And then I probably apologized again. And of course, for McDonald's policy, I apologized again, and I gave that man the cheeseburger without cheese when he specifically told me he wanted a cheeseburger with cheese and that Lysol wipe he asked for. But why did I have to do that? When it wasn't even... Why did I have to do that when it wasn't even my fault? Oh yeah, that's right. Because the customer is always right. I recently asked students in my class if they'd share the most awful experiences they've ever had working in customer service. Keep in mind while you listen to these stories that we may not all be employees, but we are all customers. My first example comes from Matthew. He once told us a story about how when he was working at McNard's, a man came in and purchased a lawnmower, because that's what you buy at Menards, right? Well, he then left, came back the next day with a different lawnmower, and tried to return it. And it was a tuffle, and Matthew was being yelled at by this man, and his manager had to come over, and it all resulted in the man spitting in Matthew's face. Did Matthew deserve that? No, he did not deserve that at all. Another example would be from Mickey, which I haven't asked Mickey her question yet, so we're going to say da-da-da-da-da-da, but she works at Olive Garden. Ready to go, because I felt like that would be a great example.
Mm-hmm.
So what do all these stories have in common? They weren't wrong, and they didn't deserve the consequences they were given. It's not just me, people, or even just me and the people in this class. It's everyone who has ever worked in customer service. The number one reason why people quit their jobs is because workplace environment. If customers were always rude and nasty, of course you're going to hate their job and never want to work in service ever again. Now refer back to the idea I had you keep in mind while listening to your classmates' stories. We may not all be employees, but we are all customers. Has there ever been a time in your life you have actions of a customer like this, or even that, or even silly things like getting spit in your face? Keep in mind this next time when you are a customer or you see someone being an unreasonable customer. I've seen employees do some pretty nasty things to your food. Okay, I'm just kidding. But seriously. And don't lie to me. I know none of you are, oh sorry, it's all in globs. And don't lie to me. I know none of you are God. So not a single damn one of you are perfect. Unless you're Jason in Matthew's size or Jack in Jack's size. But that's a different story. That's why it's so important to speak up when you're unhappy in your workplace environment. In Ted Rubin's 2004 TED Talk, titled Empower Your Employees Because They Will Empower Your Brand, he explains that businesses don't own their brands anymore. The customer owns your brand. Customers are taking control of the business brand, and it's because businesses are not listening, engaging, or interacting with their employees. This was me. I know, don't laugh. It was me 5 years ago. Yikes, I know. But why am I showing you this picture today? Let me remind you, yikes. I didn't know it at the time, but I was being controlled by a company that did not engage, did not interact, and did not listen to my wants or my needs. They allowed customers to call me incompetent, throw food at me, and even say things like, "You'll be here for the rest of your life flipping burgers because you're so stupid." Quote. But that's not true. I had more self-respect and more outlook for myself. What I'm getting at is the motto, "the customer isn't right," is devaluing employee satisfaction and stunting personal growth. We are all humans, and yes, we all make mistakes, even the biggest mistakes. But the biggest mistake we are making is not speaking up when we are unhappy with our workplace environment. Your personal happiness is greater than your any job. And the next time you're a customer, which will probably be at some point today or tomorrow, but keep in mind that your classmates' stories and how they probably felt in the moment they were being treated like that. Why is this relevant? Well, it's relevant because hopefully all of you will one day have a job or be a boss and have employees. And I know every single one of you has been a customer. It's important to know that job satisfaction is here, and the reason why we're not staying within our jobs is because people are unhappy, and it's a lot of times caused by customers. So having a job is a part of life. That's why we're all here, right? To get a degree, so that we can get that job. So I wish every one of you the best in your future and your future careers. But if you can take anything away from my speech, please remember being satisfied within your job is important for your own happiness. Yeah.
Time.
It's rough, but it's there.
It is.
Mickey's story will help with that.
Yeah, no, awesome.
And I was thinking about using Alex instead of Matthew since I referenced Matthew here.
Yeah, okay.
But I feel like my
actually had
beginning is a lot stronger than my end.
that. Okay.
I think I lose them after I talk about the motto.
Damn. Have you done this in front of anybody other than
No.
me? Okay. Wait, after, I'm sorry.
I've only absolutely read it out loud once, and that was Saturday when I read it.
Wow. This motto, what is the motto?
The customer is always right.
Okay, was that you? Have a good day?
No.
Okay, I thought you were talking about that at first.
Oh
Okay.
no, sorry, that was
Sorry.
not me.
Um,
Well, when I have PowerPoint, I try to like leave room to reference my
Mhm.
PowerPoint.
wow. I mean, good job, first of all. Jeez.
Thanks.
So much
Yes!
better than me at most things.
No,
Okay.
no. We're all great human beings.
So, you're right though. You did have a very strong intro with that story, and you have like the voiceover, and it was good. And it's like a minute 15 seconds, which is like the
Mhm.
perfect amount of time for your talk in general, which is good. I liked your jokes, obviously about referencing the classmates,
Yeah.
killer. And then I just went with some of the big ideas
Mhm.
where you were kind of like challenging the customer is always right. That's the main thing is you're challenging that motto. And you're asserting we are all customers at some point, which is true. The customer now owns the brand, which is
Mhm.
that's kind of tied, right? Customer is always right, and the customer owns your brand. Those are
Yeah.
tied to okay, which is good. So you're kind of like trying to debunk those or trying to change the reality of it.
I'm showing that like that quote should not be what we
'Cause
value.
and it tanks your job satisfaction, and it just
Yeah, because
brings
it's
a lot of unnecessary
ruining
unhappiness.
job satisfaction. Yeah,
And having a job is a part of life, so like we're all gonna have to be there. So why would we make it unpleasant?
exactly.
Okay, awesome.
That's like the relevance. That's how I tied it all together. But
Mhm.
it's ending the thing I'm definitely having the worst with.
Well, I mean, let's hack through it. Let's see.
Yeah.
Good
What's
job.
next
So
on our list?
I'm sure 7:35 is your
Okay.
was your first time, which is awesome. Speaker performing a full rough draft of the speech.
Check.
Coaching interferences.
So the line by lines? No.
Well, one by one, general feedback, which I guess I just did.
Yeah.
Strengths and areas for improvement. Command the room. Okay, those are ideas. Some general feedback we talked about, like that's the main idea, so that's what like the listener is getting from it right now. I wouldn't say that your hands are a weakness right now. Are you? You're not gonna be holding a paper up there though, right? Okay, so you kept doing this, which I love it.
I get in trouble. My mom gets on to me because I do the Donald Trump thing, but instead of like this, I'm a.
This? Well,
Yeah.
you didn't do it that much up here, but I think it's
Mhm.
because you kept coming back to this. So you were here
Yeah.
and here. You're like, I'm bearing my soul, and then I'm back in my words, and I'm bearing my soul, which is good. Like this is a good thing to have. Maybe just like, not like you're here about like 60% of the time, which might devalue some of the stuff you're saying. This should be saved for like the maybe just the
ending.
bigger moments.
Okay.
Like it doesn't have to just be at the end,
Okay.
but it can be like more of the main ideas. So save, because this is like, it is powerful. It's like a very open
Mhm.
thing. You're like, come on, people. But maybe you should save it. Right now, you're doing this about like 60% of the time.
Okay.
So maybe dial it back to like 20, 25, because you don't have to bring it all the way down, but like,
So big moments. Open
Yes.
It. Open it up. For
But
big,
you're-
open for big moments.
but you're good and you have a lot of big moments. So it's fair to have it like
Yeah.
25% of the time or 30.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do
so
I
you-
not have enough jokes, or do I have too much jokes? Because I feel like I lose the jokes in the end.
Well, that's, so you have, the intro is just funny in general. Like it's not a joke.
That's-
It's
yeah.
good though. It's like, and then you have the Matthew and the lawnmower story, which
Yeah.
is, I mean, that's also a little bit funny. The jokes obviously about the classmates, like I would keep that.
Mhm.
That's good.
My point was to call out Jack for him calling me out.
When did he call you out?
Oh, he gave a presentation. It was like our our limited prep presentation.
Oh, I don't think I was there.
No.
Okay.
But I was, and he was like the second to last speaker. Fucking called me out. I was sitting there, and he was like, "And you, Sarah," and I was like,
I'm so sad.
Jack, you just wait."
Okay, this is warranted. This is.
Yes, this is
I
intentional.
love that.
100%.
I went last. I didn't get to hear that. All right. General
Okay.
feedback. I mean, overall, I think that's good.
Okay.
Do you think that's good general feedback?
Yeah,
Is
I
there
think
any more questions that you had about in general that you want answered before we move on?
if I lose anybody, where would it be?
That's a good question. Obviously you didn't lose me at any point, but
Because I feel like it's right here.
like 2 2 minutes from the end, right there. You think?
Mhm.
I'd say so. I think in this little block of time, it also shows picture yourself. This was me 5 years ago. I didn't have the picture, so
Yeah.
I
I'm
was
sorry.
a little no.
I'll show you the
we don't have
picture.
to.
Would you like to see the picture?
A little
Oh,
bit,
it's
so I
bad.
can see what you're talking.
Yeah.
But that is a little bit where I started to go because I wasn't sure why you were showing me the picture.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll find out. And then yeah, a company that didn't engage, didn't interact, and listen to my wants and needs. That makes sense. I don't know. I think a lot of this is just saying the same thing over and over between these two paragraphs. I wouldn't say that you lost me, but like you could put something in between it, or maybe like another big moment, because
I wanted to kind of do something funny there, but I couldn't think of anything funny.
I gotcha. I think you're on the right track. Oh, okay, and
Should we show the camera?
yeah, I got
She's
it.
bad.
I got it. All right, so it's her in her uniform with a name tag. I worked Mickey D's drive-through too when I was for like a year and a half.
Oof.
I look pretty similar. I actually. But yeah, I think these two blocks are like all pretty similar, and it's not weak. It could just be tossed up with something different in there. It could be a joke or another arms open Sarah moment, like dropping bombs on us.
I need a funny joke, but I can't think of one to go at the end. But I'll get there. I know something will hit me.
Nice. I think you're right there. I think
I
you
think I
could have.
I put too much heavy stuff in there for it to be too lighthearted in the beginning.
And then dark at the end. Dark at the end.
Yeah.
It's not dark, but it's I think you have examples of where customers are just like outrageous already, but I think you should have like a concrete example of where the customer wasn't right, and it like actually affected the person. Because these are like a little tongue in cheek. Like I don't think getting spit on is tongue in cheek. I would quit on the spot and maybe.
Okay, I have an example. So
Okay.
this lady came in and ordered like 12 teas.
Happens.
And she because she came inside, because we told her she couldn't order that many drinks through the drive-through at peak hour, which is like 1.
Yeah.
So she came inside and ordered the drinks. And then she like went over there to fill them up because the teas are like separate. And when you come inside, you get your own drink. She didn't want to fill up her own drink, so she lied and said there was no tea out there. But she was in a hurry, so she couldn't wait. So they forced drive-through to fill up all 12 teas while tea was being brought out.
Yeah, but that
there.
takes too much time because like the large foam cups, and then you're sitting there.
So
and just,
the person that went out there to refill the teas was like, there is tea out here.
See, that's a good example because it's not like I said, the spit in the face, like that's a different thing.
Right.
Like I would get arrested for battery, but that's like prime example of like the customer isn't always right. Like here they were blatantly lying, and then they made our day cracker because of it. And then also like the customers behind them, like they're now waiting extra time. On whose fault? It's not you, but they thought it was your fault. You know, it's like this. I'm picturing just some horrible lady named Becky.
Becky. I got a Becky. Oh, we had a Becky.
There's always a Becky.
Yeah, I feel that.
Line by line. Let's do a little line by line interference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to take notes on here.
Line by line, I did actually take down the Matthew and the lawnmower story. Not to come back to that spit in the face thing, but it's
rough.
not rough, but it's maybe bumpy.
Bumpy.
Just
I
because-
want to make it smooth. A smooth story.
It just felt a little strange. I don't want to say it's weird because you like use his name.
Right.
But
Maybe I should use Alex, since I'm meeting with Alex tomorrow anyways, and then I use Matthew twice in this speech.
I think, yeah.
And then I'm gonna ask Mickey, because I think Mickey will have some really good stories.
And what I would say with that is like the wording of it could mean something. Like it feels like if this was the real thing, you'd be like pointing at Matthew the whole time and like, Matthew told me this and this and this, which would be really weird.
Yeah.
And like in the actual TEDx, conference, if you were like pointing to someone in like the third row and be like, this guy right here, I don't know, it feels a little awkward to like call someone out like that. Not like he did anything wrong, but it's
Maybe use anonymous,
yeah.
but make it kind of obvious that we know.
Yeah, because I mean, it's in this environment where there's gonna be like 20 people in the room, like we kind of all know who's who, so you could like point to use characteristics of them. Like if you use Matthew, we'd all know characters, or Alex.
Right.
You could be like a certain charismatic designer, but yeah, it is a little strange to shift. It just like shifts the attention from you to him, and then everyone's gonna turn and looking at them for like the whole point of the story, and no one's looking at you. Then I think.
Okay, we'll do anonymous, but known anonymous.
I like that.
Okay.
Good call. So, do you have any ideas of what that might sound like? Like what?
Okay, let's
have some ideas.
Let's rough through this. Okay, so let's still use Matthew, but not Matthew.
Yeah.
So it'd be like,
What characteristics would we do?
ooh, we could do a charming, friendly, young male.
Nice.
I mean, then they don't know. So it could be like, keep in mind while you listen to these stories that we should start. I recently asked students in this class if they would share with me some of their most awful customer service experience. To keep identities sacred, we've decided to name all of these anonymous, but I will still give you a little bit description of who these are. So keep in mind while you listen to these stories that we may not all be employees, but we are all customers. For my first story, it's shared by a young, charismatic, friendly male, about 6 foot, dark hair, great smile. He once worked at Menards. While working at Menards, he ran into a customer that had purchased a lawnmower. While purchasing this lawnmower, he had no problem selling it. He took it home. The next day, the man came into the store that bought the lawnmower with a different lawnmower, trying to hand Matthew the receipt, saying, "This is the lawnmower I bought. Please return it because I do not want it." And it ended in a brutal fight, and this said anonymous person was spit in the face.
Nice.
Yeah.
I do like that better because like I was picturing like I'm not gonna be looking at Matthew the whole time with
Exactly.
me.
That could have been you. You're almost 6 foot.
Thank you.
You're a man, dark hair, charismatic, friendly. See?
Yeah,
It
no,
could have
it
been
did.
anyone.
It did work better.
Okay.
But with that, I think it was just you like it's a little too much point and tell. Like now, this story I'm gonna tell you is this. I think you could just a little more subtle.
Okay,
With it.
what if we introduce it like story time almost?
Nice,
I'm
like
not-
a
I
little
wanna
playfully
feel
but
like,
subtle. Yeah.
So now have a seat, relax, and let me share a couple stories with you
You
from
could
your...
and play it up. Be like, let me share like a couple stories. Like it's like obviously like here's the lowdown. Here's the shit we
Okay.
deal with. But I would say something. I added a certain, so you could be like a certain charming, friendly young male. I think is like just subtle enough, but like we could all make our assumptions. But yeah, like a little. If you want to do it like that tongue in cheek, like I think that would work if you like play it up like it's about to be a horror story and we know that, but you're like, let me tell you, let's talk some stories here.
Okay, do I make it more obvious that it's said person? Because I had permission from Matthew to use his name.
I don't know. I would definitely say like a certain charming, friendly young male, but I wouldn't know how to point.
Okay, we'll just keep it pretty vague, but still. I mean, because we all kind of have heard this
Did we all hear the
Something
lawnmower
yards.
story? And
outside.
oh yeah, when we were doing
Yeah.
okay, yeah. And you know what? I think that's perfect because like for the audience, like the audience is our class,
Exactly.
so it'd be nice to play on a common experience that like 70% of us have.
That's kind of what I wanted to share everyone else's stories rather than my own stories.
Yeah, I think that's a good because I guess
Okay, so let's go back through this.
cool.
So I recently asked students in this class if they would share with me some of their most awful customer experiences. So let me share a few stories with all of you guys about a certain young man, charming, charismatic, about 6 foot tall. He once worked at Menards. Kind of like that?
I like that.
Okay.
I like that. Yeah, you're on the right track there.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
Sweet. That was actually the only individual line that I was thinking of because
Okay.
everything else is pretty strong, and like I said, it wasn't awkward at first,
Right.
but only here. Yeah, I think that's good for that section right there. Let me move on. Modeling. Modeling with hands, I think, is what we could do. But so let me go up here and be Vanna White for you.
Oh, Vanna White. All right. Bing, 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 bing.
Deep references. Like I said, so I actually didn't see much of anything else other than this. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
It was this and it was this, like I said. And what are you afraid of? You're afraid of doing this?
Yes.
I don't think you should be afraid of that. I didn't see it, actually.
I feel like I just
You might have
know
done
that's
it.
like my go-to
Yeah.
hand motion.
I mean, it's not bad to mix it up. Like, you could definitely pepper that in there. And like I said, like, keep the ratio. So you can do this for like, maybe when you're coming up to your big moment, you're like,
Okay.
here we are, because you're talking, I think the points of like, we are all customers, you're like, we're all customers, where you're
Yes.
like leveling with us.
Welcoming them.
Yeah,
Like, hey,
Mhm.
we're all here. Got
I
it.
think that is the perfect point for that. But then, anytime you're talking about like, maybe like the negative side of things, like the customer owns your brand. That sort of thing. That was my favorite point that you made. How like the customer owns the brand now, the
Mhm.
employees don't. I think that's where you could put it because it, like, there's one word difference.
Pinpoints.
The employee doesn't own the brand anymore. The customer owns the brand.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
And it's stabbing.
It's kind of like, here, have it. Ooh,
Everyone doesn't need a
snap.
participation trophy. That sort of thing. It's not. We don't have to be coddled, which I think is
You're
like.
a tough coach. Everybody doesn't need a participation.
You don't need. I'll make you a trophy anyway. But I think that.
Okay.
Because he never said that sentiment where like
Mm-hmm.
we're being coddled, but that is kind of like the underlying theme is like you don't have to kiss everyone's ass. Like that's not my job. I'm also like I'm younger than you. Like you were what 16 in that picture?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I owe you nothing. I work here for minimum wage to pay for school and my phone bill. So I think you could definitely like these hand motions like sharper with that.
Mm-hmm. Sharp.
Customer owns
Got
the
it.
brand now.
Okay, let's try it.
Okay.
Because I feel like that's what we're supposed to do.
I'd say try it without the
Okay.
paper. Just
Oh.
so yeah.
Okay.
Because this is
We'll
real
just
time.
do this last one right here.
But I love that point. Like
Okay.
that's like my favorite thing that you say, and you could definitely like
All right.
move. All right.
The businesses don't own their brand anymore. Customers own their brand. Customers are taking control of businesses' brands. And it's because businesses are allowing them to not listen, engage. Give me a second.
I like that because you were like, it was different. This up here is different. Yeah,
It's
you're
like
like I'm set
questioning.
up. You're like, what are we
Hello?
doing? Yeah, that's
Okay.
good. You didn't have like 3 in your vault. You have this. You have
Oh, we
this.
have
and you have this.
this. Okay,
And they
so
all say different
welcoming.
things. Welcoming.
So when I say stuff like,
we're all.
okay, it's not just me, people,
Nice.
or even the people in this classroom. It's everyone who has ever worked in customer service.
That's
Yes?
That's
like,
very.
because that's a very all-inclusive
That's very
line.
dynamic. Yeah, and like I said,
It's
that's-
not just me,
Oh
people,
my God.
or even the people in this classroom. It's everyone who has ever worked in customer service. Yes.
Yes.
All-inclusive went from here
Yeah.
to here. Yes.
And I think like that's your most dynamic moment. I'm gonna put a gold star,
Gold star.
a graphite star,
Woo.
because
Did I just become MVP of
Yeah.
the team?
yeah, there's your participation trophy. But
Ooh, I thought we were supposed to give those ones out.
this
Okay.
all that is really good, and because you have a couple different. I don't know. That's your bullet point. Your bullet points are here and here. And,
Do I need more facts then? Since one of my strongest ones were a fact?
like numbers as far as
Yeah.
job, customer unsatisfaction,
Because, like,
dissatisfaction.
I did just throw out a generalization out here. The number one reason people quit their jobs is because of workplace environment. I don't know if that's the number one reason or not.
Oh.
I'll just say, how about a big reason,
Yeah, I mean, I think we can all agree that's true.
right?
no, so few people, so few times it's because you have such a good offer somewhere else.
No,
Like
it's
that's
because
the
the
dream.
workplace
It's because you're
environment
like, this
here.
sucks. Those people suck.
I
and the
hate my
customers
managers. The customers treat me like shit. My managers don't listen to me. Why should I work here for this pay when I could be doing something for better pay? And I've been here for 6 years and haven't got a raise. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's usually
like
workplace environment.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to like.
Because I'm thinking maybe to make it stronger, we put numbers in the end.
I mean, we have space between these 2 points.
Ooh, I think we should put it in here.
You can put points here, jokes here, or something like, or one of the other factor in the humor there.
Yeah, because I kind of have a joke here. I show a very embarrassing picture of myself. And then, thanks. And then, I think if I throw a statistic right after that,
Mm-hmm.
maybe about like employee empowerment and how we're losing it or something.
Nice.
And then go into rephrasing literally everything I just said. We are all human, and yes, we make mistakes, but the biggest mistake we're making is not speaking up when we are unhappy within our own workplace. Your personal happiness is greater than any job. And the next time you're a customer, which will probably be at some point today or maybe tomorrow, keep in mind your classmates' stories and how they probably felt in that moment. Because I felt like that was connection, a good connection line. And then maybe like a joke right in here.
Definitely right before the ending, right before the last
Right.
big. That's a good place for a joke.
And then having a job is a part of life. That's why we're all here, right? To get a degree. So that we can get that job. I wish each and one, I don't like that line.
So we can get that job.
To get a degree. I wish each and every one of you the best in your future and your future careers. But if you could take anything away from my speech today, please remember, being satisfied within your job is important for your own happiness. I think that'll help solid up the end. Another statistic, another funny joke.
Definitely. I have a few words for that, but I'm gonna say that for E, developing a plan.
Ooh, okay.
Right now we're on D, encouraging. Which I don't know, that feels a little
So you don't
backwards.
forget.
That's okay. You know what? I'm gonna do it the other way around because that feels. I'll
Okay.
encourage you last. Not that I think you need encouragement because you're killing it.
Thanks.
Okay.
I wish I could see and watch you grow.
I got really upset because I thought you were my coach at first, and I was like, thank God, I'm good. But then it's the other way around, so that's.
I was happy you're my coach. I was like, Derek, I wonder what he has to say.
I have 32 minutes on the clock.
I was scared she was going to patch me with Jack. Patch me.
Did you see?
Partner me with Jack. I was
think-
like, I don't have patience for that boy, Ashley.
I was actually pretty frightened. I was worried about getting some people, but I think she actually like put in a lot of thought into
I
it.
think she did too.
Did you? Okay. Did you see that? Jason was Matt's coach.
Oh, shit.
I was like, "There's."
Shit.
She did not put these in a
She's
random
starting
generator.
something.
Yeah, that's so funny.
I see you, Ashley.
Checkmate. Okay.
Oof.
Developing a plan.
Okay.
Statistics. You said you wish. I mean, I think that there could be a little bit more. I think that you obviously you do a good job of representing like the fast food environment.
Mm-hmm.
I would try to move to something else. My mom is like she has worked in like a nursing office for 10 years. Same shit there.
I was
don't
thinking
change.
like calling.
Yeah.
People,
Oh.
Like,
Nice.
yeah. I have
Any-
a friend that works at like one of those calling agencies. They are the worst.
Obviously, that's got to be like the pinnacle of it because like you don't have to see their face. You can throw out whatever disrespect you want. I think that you could pull in like professional offices even and show
Okay.
that like people still, I don't know. People are basically
Well,
Not
anywhere
horrible
you
by
work
nature,
is
but-
going to be customer service based at some point,
yeah, there has to be.
or at least employee based. Like, how
Um,
often are you going to get somebody that just, oh yeah, my job is to do me? Like,
So I think if you pulled in some different occupations, you had that written down. Nice.
other
That-
occupations.
That would be good because then you pull in because
Mhm.
there are people out there that they throw out that line, that burger flipping line. You're gonna be flipping burgers the rest of your life, as if like
Oh no, I had a man tell me that.
yeah, I've
I
gotten
also
this
had a
similar
man
sentiment.
throw a drink at me once because he had like soda on his cup, and he like grabbed it and went like that.
Why do people act like children?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like,
But I'm
you're
like-
paying such small prices for this food. Why, like, you...
My boss let me go home early that day
Yeah,
because I was so upset.
that's
He
fair.
literally like took the cup and like shoved it right back at me and like all over.
Okay, so you have a good reason to be doing this speech. I can see that this has been marinating for a while, and you're
Oh,
like, I've
yeah.
got something to
Plus,
say.
like that's what I'm doing in my future. Like I'm running my own store, so it's like I think it's very important that we have employee empowerment because I feel like that's what makes your employees stick.
Yeah, and I mean, that would make them... They need, like, confidence in themselves to be good
Mhm.
at the job, which sounds a little dorky, but, like...
That's why I
It's very
listed
true.
listening, engaging, and interacting with their employees.
Mm-hmm.
Is what bosses need to be doing.
I think then you could... It feels a little one-sided right now, like it's all
Mhm.
these negative examples and like what we're missing. I feel like we could have an example of when this has gone right, like customers that are empowered, not like throwing the drink back in their face,
Mhm.
but like
Employees that are
there has to be, like, you have to be able to like stand up for yourself as a human. Yeah.
Okay, hear me out. What if this last joke is another voiceover, like I have here, and instead of me being like, oh wait, pause, let me tell you what I would have told that man, be like the same interaction, but like me being empowered.
I think that's what we need there, honestly.
So possible another like interaction, and then he comes up and he orders, oh wait, no, I could probably even use the same voiceover. Oh wait, no. And then be like this. Okay,
Definitely.
so like a cheeseburger plain. And then, yeah, of course. And then pause at exactly the same point and be like, well, listen, sir. Or like, can hear me out for a second. And then explain it to him. He says, having a job is part of life. Ooh, what if I add right here, whether it's fast food or any other
There you
occupation?
go, that'd be good.
And then do my statistic from like an office occupation.
I don't know if I would have it so late in the game there. That'd be weird, just throw numbers
Oh
30
wait,
seconds before you go.
it's going right here.
Okay,
Another statistic.
okay, I thought you meant put that there with that statement.
No,
Keep it, okay, then yes, I think that,
but my statistic is going to be about another occupation.
nice. Yes, and I think that worked for like a couple of reasons. Like it'd be good, like a parallel, like you started it with that, and then if you use the exact same first voiceover,
Exactly.
and then show like, well, this is what, like, this could be the reality, like, where everyone's treated like an adult and a human.
Right.
Nice. Yes. To that. That's a good.
I think that's a good like. It's kind of like a joke.
No,
But
it
then
would
at
be.
the
It's
same
humorous, but it's
time-
not. It doesn't have a punchline, but it's like.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's a good palate cleanser.
Food, nursing, office work, any other occupation. Okay, I'm ready.
I think that all looks good. Last plain. I don't know. This is such a weird thing to pick. The cheeseburger thing. Cheeseburger plain. Like I would maybe just like state what you were thinking there. Like, well, when someone orders a cheeseburger plain, I'm thinking that's the meat and the cheese. But he was thinking cheeseburger plain means a burger with nothing on it. I don't know. That might be like a weird detail that we don't need to get into. But I feel like that just.
Should I do that here?
Yeah, literally, like just in the example, just like say, well, what it sounds like, or maybe just like in our system, when you hit cheeseburger plain, that's what that means. Is I don't know. I wouldn't say it's crucial. Maybe it's just in the wording of it itself, but just so that people know that there's like a misunderstanding on his part and not on your part. Not to like literally shift the blame, but like so that people know that you did your job, like you did your job, and then the misunderstanding was his, and now he's the one freaking out on you. So yeah, I don't think it needs to be added, maybe just a little bit reworded so that Sarah's our hero in this situation, in this, in this
Right.
fairy tale. Clearly that's what we want.
I got it. Okay, what if I do this? So I say, pause. Now I could explain to you what I wanted to tell customers, but that's probably inappropriate and definitely against McDonald's golden or customer service policies. Create golden moments for every customer. Oh, I'll show that man a golden moment, all right. So instead, I'll tell you what I did do. Like I said, I apologized, and I apologized again. When you order a cheeseburger, plain, it gets cheese. Cheeseburger, hamburger. 2 different words. But why did I have to accommodate to that customer when it isn't even my fault or my team's fault? Oh yeah, that's right, because the customer is always right. But
Yeah, definitely.
like justifying my actions.
Yes, because that, like the 2 different words thing, like that,
Yeah.
it shows that they were not right. Like that's like coming in and like using made up rules.
Hamburger.
Yeah, like this is it's a business, and like
Right.
you come in using your rule. Like if we just changed our rules to fit everyone's need, like we wouldn't be a business. We would. It's like a charity. It's like you get free food.
Yes.
People come in and they're like, this was wrong. I want my order free. But if the mistake was on your part, I don't think you should get your order for free.
Exactly.
If you're this, maybe
They're
you
J
just
customers.
maybe you learn and get it right next time, and then you don't have this problem. But this is bringing up like non-flashbacks. Like
Oh yeah, I know. I had a customer once. He pulled out his own hair and stick it in his sandwich.
What'd you do? Like this looks like yours, sir.
No. So how we figured out he was doing that was we had 2 guys on grill and they both had blonde hair, and he came back and he was like, "This has black hair in it." And I was like, "How did a black hair get in your sandwich when no one in grill has dark hair?" And it was just like repetitively, like the same guy. for,
Multiple
like,
times.
Yeah.
And what did he say about that? What did he do to?
He'd just bring up our sandwich like either in from the drive-thru or like from the counter. He'd be like halfway through it and be like, "I found a hair in my sandwich." And of course, like we work there, you gotta have to be kind of a little discreet. And you're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir." You take the sandwich, throw it in the trash. You don't even question it.
Yeah, you're
But
just like,
after like the 2nd and 3rd time, we're like, "What? No, like how?" Yeah. So it was planted that way to watch and see.
some people.
I know, it's so fucking irritating. But it's like,
People suck.
at one point in time, like, in our whole career lifetimes, we're going to be working with people more than once, whether it's like retail, fast food, like any kind of service job. Like, name me a job that doesn't have some kind of service, because you all have customers.
Yeah.
Very irritating.
Nice. Okay.
Grinds my gears.
Me as well. So as far as wrapping up a plan that we have here, hand motions, know your, I'd say like know your repertoire.
Inclusive?
Yeah, and go
It's
through
inclusive.
like flashcards basically. Just know your repertoire and
Oh,
practice
that's another
them.
question I have.
Yes.
Do you think it would be better to have at least a couple of flashcards? Well, I'm gonna memorize most of it anyways, but like, do you think I'd lose my
Pretty
credibility if I had flashcards?
I don't think so. I mean, the
Because
sales.
it does have personal, like,
I think what she said about that is the same as the sales, where it's like you can't read off of them. But if like, it's up to your judgment, where if you think that you might need them, even if you end up not looking at them
Right.
which happened to me in the sales presentation. I didn't even look at them after like the 2nd sentence. So I don't think it'd be like, go ahead and make them and do like almost like a bullet point version, where you have like the main idea or maybe the few key trigger words. You helped
Right.
me, right, with the sales
Yes, I
presentation?
did.
You told me that, and you're like, yeah, get some like trigger words
Yeah.
on there that.
Because most of the time I memorize most of it, but it's like those few defining sentences you don't memorize, because if you have your key points like memorized, you'll know your sentence. And so I was like, trigger words. So I was like, that's how you memorize. You don't really need to memorize a speech, as long as you memorize like your bullet points within a paragraph, really.
True. So yes, I think that you definitely could and should do that. And then on the day of, like, you're prepping when you're like, oh, what if I forget it? And then you go up there and you're like, oh, I don't actually.
Right, because this full half section, I probably won't need it. When I'm sharing somebody's stories, I probably won't need it because it's a story, so it's like...
You can come off the cuff a little bit.
Right, it's not... It is their story to share, but it's now became my story, so it's okay for I reward it as long as the purpose and moral of the story is still there. I'm worried about that one. These ones right here, because they're kind of heavier. And then adding all that new stuff is going to be, oof.
Okay, so there's our plan. Is I can give you this too, which doesn't. These are more manic notes, but
it's okay. We have it like written where it needs to go. So
I'm wondering this real quick. It doesn't say to do a second run through.
Should we? What time are we at?
We have 45 minutes and 40 seconds. So I could encourage the heck out of you for 5 minutes, and then you do another run through.
It's okay.
Or backwards.
Let's do it backwards.
Yeah.
Because then maybe we'll find something else to like critique, rather than because I don't need moral boost. I'm okay.
Seem like a pretty self-sufficient gal.
Yeah. Plus we've done this how many times now? So we're on our fourth speech.
Yeah.
Plus we took 210.
Yeah. All right. Oh, we're good.
Yeah.
All right. So
And
let's
it's
go.
One grade and one class. That's it. So we'll be okay, right? All right.
That's a fact. I'm gonna time you one more time, just so we can.
Probably be a little bit longer this time.
Good. And that's what you
But
want.
that's okay.
All right.
All right. Ready, set, go. Hi, welcome to 43 McDonald's. What can we get for you? We'll trim that up because it starts at 10.
Hi, how are ya? Can I get let's see, a McChicken.
Chicken, okay.
A 10-piece nugs.
Okay.
No, wait. Instead of McChicken, can I get a cheeseburger?
Yeah, of course.
Plain,
Okay.
just cheese, and that's it.
All right. Sounds great. I will get you that cheeseburger right up, sir. Time has passed. I am now about to present this cheeseburger to this man. One cheeseburger
What
plain?
do you mean a plain cheeseburger? I thought I didn't want cheese. I have the 10-piece nugs, and that's fine, but I didn't want the plain cheeseburger. Just a hamburger, no cheese. What don't you get about that? This place is honestly disgusting. Can I get a Lysol wipe for my table? It's gross. You guys need to do a better job about cleaning this place. Thank you.
I am so sorry, sir. Pause. Okay, now I could explain to you what I wanted to tell this customer, or... But that's probably inappropriate and definitely against McDonald's customer service policies. Create golden moments for every customer. Oh, I'd create a golden moment for that customer, all right. So, instead, I will tell you what I did tell him. As you heard, I apologized. I apologized again. And of course, I apologized again. When you order a cheeseburger, plain, it gets only cheese. Cheeseburger, hamburger. These are two separate words, people. Cheeseburger, hamburger. What is so hard? But of course, I had to accommodate to that customer when it wasn't even my fault or my team's fault. Oh yeah, that's right, because the customer is always right. I recently asked students in our class to share with us some of their awful customer service experiences. So I'd like to share with you today a couple stories from those who may remain anonymous about their experiences with customer service. So keep in mind, while you listen to these stories, that we may not all be employees, but we are all customers. So the first story I'd like to share with you today came from a young, charming, strong, sophisticated, charming, friendly man.
Too charming, so.
Friendly man He works at Menards, and during his time working at Menards, he sold lawnmowers. So one day, another male came in to purchase his lawnmower, and after purchasing, he went home, and God only knows what he did with his lawnmower, but the next day he came back with a lawnmower. But it was not the lawnmower that was sold by the young, charming, sophisticated, strong man. And in conclusion, it didn't end well. The male was very upset. The male customer was very upset. The employee was very upset. More employees came in to help, and it resulted in this young, charming, sophisticated, smart man being spit in the face. Spit in the face, guys. What did the young man ever do to the customer to deserve to be spit in the face? That is just one of the many stories of customer service that I was given within this class. So I'm not just talking about me, people, or even the people in this class. I'm talking about everyone who has ever worked in customer service, whether that is fast food, an office job, being a nurse, or even a teacher. If customers are always rude and nasty, of course you're going to hate your job and never want to work customer service ever again. But refer back to this idea that I asked you to think about when listening to your classmates' stories. We may not all be employees, but we are all customers. Keep in mind the next time you are a customer, being rude and nasty is not going to get you anywhere. It's just going to devalue that employee and make them feel less empowered. I've seen employees do some pretty nasty things to your food when you act like that. Okay, I'm just kidding. But really, the person you are yelling at or calling dumb is just as human as you are. And don't lie to me, none of you are God, so not a single damn one of you are perfect, unless you're Matthew in Jason's eyes, or Jason in Matthew's eyes, or Jack in Jack's eyes. But that's another story for another day. But seriously, no one is perfect and we all make mistakes. That's why it's so important to speak when you are unhappy in your own workplace environment. In Ted Rubin's 2014 TED Talk titled Empowerment by Employees, because they empower titled Empower Your Employees Because They Empower Your Brand, he explains that businesses don't own their brands anymore. The customer owns their brand. Customers are taking control of businesses, and because businesses are not listening, engaging, or interacting with employees, it's causing employee empowerment to lower. This was me. Oh, I need to pause there. This was me 5 years ago. Yikes. I know. You don't have to tell me. We've all been there. But I didn't know it at the time, but I was being controlled by a company that didn't engage, didn't listen, and didn't give me my wants and my needs. They allowed customers to call me incompetent, throw food at me, and even say things like, you're gonna be here flipping burgers for the rest of your life because you're so stupid. But that is not true. I have more respect and more outlook for myself than that, but my job didn't tell me that. So what I'm getting at is this motto: the customer is always right, is devaluing employee satisfaction, and it is stunting personal growth. Possible statistic here about another occupation. We are all human, and yes, we make mistakes. But the biggest mistake we're making here, people, is not speaking up when we are unhappy within our workplace environment. Your personal happiness is greater than a job. And the next time you are a customer, which will probably be at some point today or tomorrow, keep in mind your classmates' stories, because this happens every day in multiple occupations. And keep in mind how that employee probably feels when you're yelling at them. Make joke again. Hi, welcome to 43 McDonald's. What can I get for you today? Of course, sir. Can I get you anything else? He talks, blah, 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 blah. Sir, I am so sorry for the inconvenience. Could I possibly explain to you the difference between a cheeseburger and a hamburger so next time that you're ordering, we can make sure you get this right. This time, I will fix this for you. But next time you do come to our store, would you please, or would you consider calling a cheeseburger with no cheese a hamburger for us? It just makes the life work a lot easier around here. Having a job is a part of life. Whether you work in fast food, nursing, an office job, or any other occupation that works with customer service. That's why we're here, right? Oh. Any job that's working in occupation. We're all going to college to get a degree, to get a job. I wish each and one of you the best in your future and your future careers. But if you could take one thing away from my speech, please remember, being satisfied within your job is important to your own happiness. Need to change those lines since I add that word.
Last little bit.
Yes.
Oh, time.
Oh,
9:28.
perfect. 8 to 10.
Okay.
We're definitely gonna have to cut something out because when we add those things, it's not gonna work. Do I share class stories? Or do I just take them out?
I think that honestly one is good for right now.
Okay,
Like
just stick with one.
yeah, I mean, especially since we all know Matt's. I mean, like a lot of us know Matt's story. We all
Yeah.
heard it there. I think that'd be the most salient thing.
Okay.
I'll
see if Alex has a better story.
Wow, everything's great, is what it is.
We'll work on it.
Seriously. So we have a lot of strong moments, which is what you want. Yeah, like I said, you had the strong intro, and now we have a strong conclusion there. That last sentence.
So we like having the talking to the PowerPoint.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. I don't know.
We added other occupations, so maybe it didn't seem just like.
It's not just centered on fast food or just McDonald's. It's
Yes.
like overarching. Like job satisfaction is important for everybody, which is like that's a good point that your main point that isn't said in these exact words is like it matters and your job satisfaction. I don't know. There's like it's a very core part of our experience, and it shouldn't suck.
I think what remember when we did those what's your claim? Why is it significant? Like those
And then
three
a big
things.
sentence or one sentence, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like the motto, the customer is always right, is devaluing employee satisfaction.
Yeah,
I think that was literally mine.
Yeah. You know what? Come to think of it, I don't think do you ever say it exactly like that?
Oh, my point here is, I do.
Yeah. Look close to the end.
Which will probably be at some point today. Nope. I know I say it. It's just very quick. Oh, what I'm getting at is the motto, the customer is always right, is devaluing employee satisfaction and stunting personal growth.
That's awesome, because that shows like this, it shows that this basically core belief now in like American business is shit.
It's not true.
Yeah,
And it sucks too because I think what sparked me to get this idea, because I was going to talk about families, was I was sitting in my hospitality class because I'm a hospitality minor, and that's what they told us. It was like the customer was always right.
Except
and I was
when
like,
they're not.
woo!
Yeah, except.
It's like, okay, so what if they're wrong? And Dr. Lee was like, customer, wrong? No. And I was like, Dr. Lee?
I'd lose my mind.
Oh, he's a little Asian guy. He's super cute. But he's like, no, customer is always right. You're not always wrong, but customer is always right. And I was like, okay, Dr. Lee.
See, I think everyone's gonna like this because
it's fresh.
It's fresh. It's a hot take. Like sometimes you're wrong.
Right.
And the fact that you work there, you have the information. This is what constitutes a hamburger and a cheeseburger. I love that you add like that part of the meeting. I think
Mhm.
that's gonna
It
work really well.
helps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do
you think I need anything after the second one then? Or just go right into having a job is a part of life, whether it's fast food, nursing, office work, any other really occupation. I think I need something else there to transition. That's why we're all here, right? To get a job.
I think as long as you make it like a moment, like make sure it stands, I don't know, at the end of it, where you're talking about like, maybe can I explain to you how this
Mm-hmm.
is this, so that next time, and like you just made that up on the spot, but like
Yeah.
you said, we can fix it for you this time, and blah 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 next time, so that you know. Maybe if you could make that like a moment in itself, you wouldn't have to add anything. You'd like, because it would stand for like, look,
Right.
if we can come to an understanding where you now know better, sounds weird. I think it could stand for itself.
It's still compromising with the employee, or it's still compromising with the customer, but giving the
Yeah.
employee this empowerment. That
Exactly,
they need.
which is like a skill. That's good,
Right.
and I think it would show us that like,
Okay.
oh, we're
Do
like.
I end it there? Do you think I even really need anything else?
I'm gonna let you decide that, because
Oh,
I
okay.
wouldn't say end it there.
But I'm almost feeling like
Yes, you do.
one word or like one sentence is enough after it.
Maybe like just this last key idea, like you can move everything else up
Mhm.
above it, and the last key idea.
I wish
If
everyone of
you
you
take
the best
if
in
you
your
take one
future.
thing away from my speech,
Yeah.
remember,
Being satisfied within your job is important for your own happiness.
and I would say one thing. I would say like maybe end on a stronger word. Like that's the main idea. I don't know how to end on like a stronger word though. Do you? Or is that just
Yes.
hitting my ear a certain way?
I wish every one of you the best in your future and your future careers. But if you could take one thing away from my speech, please remember being satisfied within your own job is important to your own happiness. I think that can be rephrased. Let's just rephrase.
I think something about life being the last word, or like one of the last couple words, because like happiness is happiness. That's like,
Right.
that's important, but it feels like a day-to-day like smiley face sort of thing. Like, happiness in your life is like success.
And I kind of want to bring the word power back into it.
Power, nice. Life or power, one of those words, it'd be a good like nail to
Damn.
end on. Yeah.
But yeah, I was just feeling like I had a hard time working with this word, like line right here.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, after coming out of like my little doo-wop or whatever.
Do what?
Yeah. I don't know what to call it, but it was like I was going to record my whole voice and the whole interaction.
Oh, you're like the skit kind of.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I was like, then it doesn't feel like a speech.
Yeah, you're right.
But I feel like if I
interact.
interact with the video, it would work.
Is it gonna be a video or?
No.
Okay.
It's just a voice.
Yeah, I think that works really well. This has been your encouragement. Do you feel
Yes,
encouraged?
I feel very
Good.
encouraged.
You should. You have literally nothing to worry about. Like your time is nails, and that you have all the components of a good speech, and also the hand like.
Yes,
there
but
will- I
I'm
know
very
this
grateful
more.
for your help. Like watching my hand motions.
Yeah, I think you sprinkle in a little bit more, but like in a good way. Like, and I think you can have this video. You can see it
That's
out there.
okay.
So you should definitely watch that last run through, because you had
Yes.
some really good ones, especially during your interaction with the customer, and right after it. Like all these big, like you're
I just want to make sure, like, it's kind of really hard because, like, you don't know what your facial expressions are going to be like when you're talking to a customer, but I feel like they're there. And, like, when
Mhm.
they do speech monologues and stuff, they're both facing the, like, audience, but they're making the facial interactions, and I thought, let's add that.
You did the good customer service face. Like, what can I like? Eyebrows up. I understand.
It just sucks
Big,
because,
big,
like, I
dumb
have to nail that because I'm interacting with something that
Yeah,
can't change.
and that's I think the reason it's so impressive is because there's not another person there. But like, if you do that, it shows
Mhm.
everyone
Exactly.
knows that face. Like everyone's been at McDonald's and they've seen that face.
They've ordered customer service, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Encouraged. Feel encouraged
Encouraged.
because you nailed it.
We nailed it.
You did.
One step closer. We are done. Crushed it. Thanks, coach.
Good job out there.
Yeah.
Give me
thanks.
crap.